the Stones are the greatest band to photograph that I've ever worked with. They have a sense of show business that's beyond anybody else. They know how to play a stadium and make the people in the back row feel as comfortable as the people in the front row. Every move they make is a great rock and roll move. They're all about putting on a really great show and giving people their money's worth. So when I was a kid, you had to choose between the Stones or the Beatles. So I always went with the Stones. And my whole goal in life was to one day meet them and work with them. Don McLeese, who was a music critic of the Chicago Sun-Times, got an opportunity to interview Keith Richards. Opened the door and there was Keith Richards standing right in front of me. He came over, he sat down, and I shot 3 rolls of film in about 4 minutes. It was the most exciting photo shoot I had ever done in my life. Keith is a great guy. He's a really expressive face. I'd heard during the interview that he was getting ready to go out on tour. Day before Thanksgiving, I got a phone call from Keith's manager. And she said, you gotta pack up your stuff and fly down to Atlanta and meet us. You're our tour photographer. Something that I knew nothing about, but I figured I could fake my way through it. I was given total access. I was part of the band. My feeling was there's nothing that could ever happen in my life that could beat that. That was the ultimate. I got a call from the publicist saying, do you want to come and shoot the rehearsals? So I went to Philadelphia and I spent 3 nights in Veterans Stadium with them basically playing 3 complete shows just for me. I could walk up to Mick Jagger while he was singing. He works out for 3 hours a day before the show and then does a 3-hour show. And I shot those 3 rehearsals, and once again I thought, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Nothing could ever be better than this. I got a call about 3 weeks into it from Keith's manager. And that night I shot my first show. So I started out in Chicago in the morning, ended up on a private jet that night, flying with the Rolling Stones to Birmingham, Alabama. Steel Wheels Tour at the time was the biggest rock tour in history. Voodoo Lounge Tour was even bigger. In 1997, they started the Bridges of Babylon Tour in Chicago. They rehearsed at Soldier Field for 3 nights. I was pretty much, other than the crew, I was the only person in the building. It was a huge event. And then they played the Double Door the night before the tour started. I made a decision that it would probably be a better idea for me if I rode over with the band, mainly because I just wanted to get out of the van with the Rolling Stones in front of the Double Door with all the news crews around. Did a great show that night. I was the only photographer in the place. And then last year, I got a call from Keith's manager saying, we're shooting a documentary here in Chicago. We ended up at Legends at Buddy Guy's Club, and Keith was saying, hey, have you met my photographer? And Buddy was saying, what do you mean your photographer? He's my photographer. And it really doesn't get any better than that. I got up and I grabbed Mick Jagger's arm and I grabbed Ronnie Wood, grabbed Charlie Watts, and then I grabbed Buddy and Keith, dragged them all out in the hallway and took a picture. And that was the end of the night. One great picture of Buddy with the Stones. There's nobody that I would continue to photograph year in and year out because there's something new every time. There's something great every time. It doesn't get any better than that. I just pick up the camera and shoot. I mean, I don't really think about it. There always is a decisive moment. Most performers are not predictable. For most bands, it's just hope you're in the right place at the right time. It's not about luck. One photo is all you have to take, as long as you get the right photo. I mean, I know when I've got the photo, I know I've got it. But I still keep on shooting because I might get something else. There's a lot of shots that are just average, but there's only a few that I would want people to see.